All right, guys, here we go. It is the last pre-recorded podcast in a grouping. We go live on Monday. This is the last one that'll be recorded outside of the ones when I am on vacation or taking trips. And then we'll have obviously some of the fun stuff, the nostalgia series, and whatnot after that. But we go live on Monday. So let's finish the training camp series, Broncos and Chiefs. Here we go. All right, guys, here we go. So, couple quick things in the news. The biggest one is the trade the 49ers made for Brian Robinson Jr. He ended up being part of a really crowded backfield in Washington. I am kind of impressed that the 49ers are the team that went out and got him. Christian McCaffrey has been healthy, but we all know it only takes one play. And they play Seattle right away against, the 49ers have an offensive line. Like I said, we went over it. It's a Trent Williams injury away from being one of the bottom 5 O lines in the NFL. So it's going to be tough. And being able to have a guy like Robinson, I think a little bit bigger back, the power back, will help them. I understand why they did it. It just kind of shocked me that they were the ones that made that move. Washington is obviously going with Krosky, Rodriguez, McNichols. They got Austin Eckler, but he's obviously in the last year of his contract. And I think all 4 of them will make the team in some capacity. I think McNichols will continue to be the returner. They like having him as the returner. And we'll see what happens. But here we go. The final 2 teams for the training camp series. Let's open this up with the Kansas City Chiefs. The dynasty is still absolutely relevant, but it's over. The reality with how football is, and this is not a slight. See, this is the thing. People be like, well, that's just bashing the Chiefs. When the Patriots dynasty was over, they didn't win a Super Bowl for a very long time, but they won the division and they won playoff games. They just didn't win Super Bowls. That's the difference. I think at this point they are old. They're on the very back 9. I mean, they're on hole 17 and a half at this point. An older Chris Jones, older Travis Kelce, the offensive line getting rid of Tooney, kind of helped make them younger. They've got to hit on Josh Simmons. He's got to stay healthy on the offensive line. But when you look at it, the depth chart isn't great, guys. I mean, this isn't a team that on paper you look at as a team that really has the ability to play. Their weakest position is their secondary, and I'm sorry. A team like the Chiefs then has to be outrageously quick with their pass rush. I mean, they're in a division that's got now Chip Kelly is an offensive coordinator, Sean Payton is an offensive coordinator, and you got Jim Harbaugh. I mean, come on. You're going to have to be really, really quick, and they're going to be able to scheme against you. Spagnuolo may be really good, but guess what the Eagles did to him? Made him look very pedestrian when your offensive line can just block. And the Broncos, who we're going to talk about next, have a top 5 rated offensive line. The Chargers, I think, because of Slater, like I said yesterday, are interesting. The Raiders are decent, and they play the Chiefs tough. You are the Chiefs in a division now that has teams that can beat you. You are not the king of that division. You are not alone at the top anymore. The dynasty is over. It is still relevant, but it is over. As far as the Super Bowl, naturally, they may get another Super Bowl. I don't doubt that they could. But the roster just doesn't look good. It's not a slight against Kansas City. It's what eventually happens. The Chiefs have had a dominating run. It's been great. But every great thing does come to an end. And I think this is that year. More so because of the secondary. I don't see Trent McDuffie is their best secondary player. And everybody else, you've got a 7th round pick, a 2nd round pick, a 3rd round pick, a 4th round pick. It's not great back on the back end. It's just not. Their number one position is easily a linebacker. Easily a linebacker. Drew Tranquill, Nick Bolton, Leo Chenal, and then they got Cam Jones as a backup, Giolotti as a backup. Linebacker there really, really strong. Defensive line, it's Karlaftis and Chris Jones. Pennell and Dana, that's the side of the ball I would go at. If Karlaftis and Jones are on the right side, I'm running to the left side. It's that simple. It's that simple. Their offensive line, they signed Jalen Moore away from the 49ers. They still have Jawan Taylor, the really bad right tackle, starting for them. Trey Smith is an absolute stud at right guard. Cree Humphrey is one of the best centers in the NFL. Josh Simmons, the rookie left tackle. The injury concern, the reps concern is really the only concern I have with him. I think he can be decent. I think he can be like Bernard Raymond for the Colts. He's going to get beat, but I think he's absolutely serviceable, 1,000%. And then Mike Caliendo at left guard. So the right side of the offensive line is once again a question. The question is whether or not they have the ability. Rashee Rice is going to be suspended for a long time. The NFL wants to make an example of Rashee Rice's stupidity. And I am all for it. I am never on the player's side when you endanger people's lives. I'm sorry. Grow up. Deal with it. I'm not on anybody's side when you endanger their lives. That I will never be on your side. They want to make Rashee Rice the example, especially for all these kids coming in that now own these cars before they even get to the NFL. Shedeur Sanders already has 2 tickets. 2. They've got these cars before they even get in the NFL. The NIL money has made them less sensitive to what's going on, and Rashee Rice has very, very little awareness. So yes, he will be suspended for at least 6. They want 10. I'm good. Suspended for 10 games. He deserves it. Xavier Worthy has turned into more of a gadget guy. He's got a lot of speed, but he's got to get open. Hollywood Brown. It's all about health. There is a bunch of speed at receiver, but you do question the hands. You do question whether or not you've got the hands in the wide receiver group when you need it. We know they're fast. Each one of those guys are fast. Rice isn't going to be on the field. Worthy has dealt with some injuries as well. Hollywood obviously has had injury after injury after injury over the last few years. So, roster-wise, it doesn't look great. But yes, you have Patrick Mahomes, you got Andy Reid, and 100% could easily turn this around. But let's look at the first 6 games. Here we go. So, first 6 games, we got the Chargers and the Eagles are your first 2 games at home. At the Giants, home against Baltimore, at Jacksonville, and then home against Detroit. The Chiefs are on primetime a lot this year. Friday opening week, primetime. Week number 3, Sunday Night Football. Week number 5, Monday Night Football. Week number 6, Sunday Night Football. Week number 8, Monday Night Football. Like, they have got a lot of primetime games. And they've got a lot of big games. With the way this division is, with the way the schedule plays out, they don't have a true, real break They do have a tough stretch. They've got, starting in week 6, they go Detroit, Raiders, Commanders, Bills, Denver. Those are your 5 straight games right there. That's probably the toughest stretch in their schedule that they have. Their bye week is week 10 after a road game in Buffalo, which I think may be the best thing for them. It may absolutely be the best thing for them. So that is the Kansas City Chiefs. What is success? Make the playoffs. I'm sorry, success is not the Super Bowl. To continually be able to win, success is winning the division and making the playoffs. That's success. A failure? No, it's not making the playoffs. The failure is missing the playoffs. That would be a failure. And I think with their schedule the way that it is, you get the wrong injuries, it's not going to be easy. If Chris Jones gets hurt, I would really say the defense is going to struggle. I would absolutely say the defense will struggle. So we'll see what happens. I'm not sure what they're going to do. I got my official predictions on Wednesday. This team, you guys know I am outrageously high on. I love the moves they made over the offseason. The draft was not as good as I was hoping. I will fully admit that. But this team has the 3rd-rated offensive line in the NFL. Depending on who you look at, it could be actually rated 2nd. Like, this offensive line for the Denver Broncos is amazing. And you talk about your first 6 weeks. It's the sophomore year. You got the new players coming in on defense. Let's go to this. Your first 6 games are home against Tennessee, at Indianapolis, at the Chargers, home against Bengals, at Philly, home against New York. But that one is the game that's over the pond. You start out the year 4-2. 4-2. I'll give you 2 of the 3. Chargers, Bengals, Philly. I'll give you 2 losses in those 3. I don't think they will, but I'll give you 2 losses in those 3. That, honestly, the stretch that's going to be harder is starting in week 9. You've got at Houston, Raiders, Chiefs, then your bye week, then you've got Commanders, Raiders, Green Bay. So you have 3 hard games, your bye, and then another 3 games on the other side. And I think that's probably the toughest stretch, but they get a break in the middle of it. So I think it does them a lot of good. I think it works out really, really well for them. Success for them, win the division. It's not just make the playoffs. Knock the Chiefs off and win the division. That is success for the Broncos. Sean Payton can do it. Chiefs fans hate it when you say that the Broncos could knock them off because the Chiefs have been king for so long. Patriots were king for a long time. Guess what happened? The minute that another team actually got a decent quarterback, the Patriots struggled. This conference has been inept between coaching and quarterback play for a long time. Now you've got 3 coaches that can coach just as good. Yes, just as good as Andy Reid. Pete Carroll's made multiple Super Bowls. Sean Payton coached a New Orleans Saints team to multiple NFC championships and got them to the Super Bowl. You have coaches now that can coach just as good as Andy Reid. You give any of these coaches a quarterback, and you did with Bo Nix going to Sean Payton. Bo Nix can play just as good as Mahomes can. He may not have the intangibles. I'm not going there yet. But when it comes to play on the field, Bo Nix can play just as good as Patrick Mahomes can. I'm not as sure about Herbert yet. I'm going to keep him down just because I haven't seen him really take the game over the way Nix did last year. Nix could take games over. Made the playoffs in his rookie year. He can play. This team, spending the money, Hufanga on defense, Greenlaw on defense. Their weakest position, receiver. Chief fans, you know receiver doesn't matter. You won a Super Bowl with nobody that could catch the ball consistently. So don't tell me that, their receiver's too weak. Didn't matter for the Chiefs. They've got Evan Ingram that they brought in at tight end. I think if he's healthy, he's going to play a huge role this year. They've got an absolutely outstanding defense. Nick Bonito is one of the best pass rushers and run-stopping linebackers in the NFL. He's better than Micah Parsons, in my opinion. He's better at the awareness of how the play's going. It's just that is how good he is. Micah Parsons is great at rushing the passer. He's not as good in general defense. Bonito can play general defense, and he is a stud on this defensive line. This defensive front seven. Yes, I like the Broncos. Yes, I think they will absolutely get more wins than they had last year. And yes, they will be a thorn in the Chiefs' side because they play them so tough. And if it wasn't for a fluke thing last year, the Broncos would have knocked them off. Both times. Like, when it comes to luck, and we saw this, we're seeing this in Major League Baseball. The luck meter, the Brewers had the amount of luck needed to be able to just go on this massive winning streak. It takes a little bit of luck. We all know this. You got to have skill, and then you got to have a little bit of luck. We know this. Okay? This isn't something that's new. It's just when it happens to your team, you don't want to admit it. The Colts won a lot of games, come from behind victories. A lot of them. It took a little bit of luck. Yeah, I'll admit it. Dude, go back and watch games from 2003, 2004, 2005, 2000. Go back and watch those games. Go back and watch those comebacks. It took a lot of luck. It takes luck sometimes to be that good, to have a dynasty like that. The Patriots had it. The Tuck rule, that was luck. They lost that game. That was luck. It takes luck to have dynasties. Sometimes you just got to have the ball bounce your way. So don't get upset about the fact that people are like, well, you had some luck. Yeah, you did. Duh. And last year you won all those games in one-score games. It ain't happening 2 years in a row. You're going to come back down a little bit. And coming back down is going to give a team like the Broncos the opportunity to take advantage of that. I cannot wait for this division. I cannot wait for the battles that we have. Every time the Raiders play the Broncos, or the Raiders play the Chiefs play the Chargers, or the Chargers play the Broncos, each one of those games is going to be huge. Each one of those games has two high Super Bowl level coaches. I cannot wait for this division. I am outside of my mind excited because we have never seen this many coaches battle consistently in a season. Like, we've never seen this. We saw Tomlin versus Harbaugh for years, but who was the other coaches in the division? It was Tomlin versus Marvin Lewis. Harbaugh versus Marvin Lewis. That was decent. Marvin Lewis was a good head coach. He wasn't great. He was a good head coach. He was a playoff head coach. He wasn't a Super Bowl head coach. We've got four Super Bowl head coaches. Yes, I am ecstatic about this division. I am ecstatic about all the games we will get to watch. I cannot wait for it. And we are 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away from NFL football being back. Tomorrow we got the college games. I will be watching them. I cannot wait for the game in Dublin. That game every year is always a lot of fun, so I cannot wait for that. And Monday, we're live. Monday, we are live. 9 a.m. Eastern. We are live. Sports Talk with Hawk. I cannot wait. It's going to be outstanding. And have a fantastic weekend. Have a fantastic weekend. Watch a little bit of football. Just get a little bit of a taste of some football coming back. Turn on the game in Dublin. Turn on the game at night between Stanford and Hawaii. Just watch a little bit. Just get a taste. Get ready for next week's full slate of college football next Saturday. Just get a taste. It's football. It's in the air. You can feel it. The weather cooled down here in Indianapolis. It's been outstanding. It's been awesome. It is football weather. We are ready to play some football. All right, guys. After all that, now I got to go to work. All right. That's going to be it. The training camp previews are done. We go live on Monday. I am ecstatic. I hope you guys are too. I hope you guys are too. Live every day, 9 to 10, starting Monday. And obviously, we'll open up Monday with a little bit more info. And yes, you'll be able to watch them afterwards because they will stay on YouTube after I go live. So have a fantastic weekend. Make it the best weekend that you possibly can. Make it the absolute best weekend you can. And I will see you guys on Monday at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Until then, for Sports Talk with Hawk, I am Hawk, and football's back.